Hey, people. That last movie I did, I thought it was pretty clean, so I had set it for children. So that's why you couldn't comment on it. But then I realized I did say have a cock on it. And I've never read into this, but, the bird in which saw have a cock in via, have a cock in way. So I'm probably going to have to change that. Before I had a chance to read into this Secrets of the Dead hieroglyphs came on PBS and I had to watch it. And I showed a piece of the trailer that I saw on PBS and it got a copyright lick on it, so it was blocked in some places. So I'm adding this little section here and cutting that minute out of it. So you might have already seen this movie, but I seen the views were way down, so I know it was blocked in wherever they watch me most. So this is just a remake to see if it'll get out there better. And I got some things out of it. And I seen them spread a little disinformational myth. But it was a good show. But they did leave out some key things that would help you make a better decision about what was going on. But the main thing I picked up from it, and they said that the name was holy. And you never give anybody your name because you would give them power over you. Then they would have your name to call you. But that's how these kings got their great knowledge. Anytime somebody asked their name, they told them everything but their name. And it was the same in the Hebrew. And that's why in the Hebrew, every time one was born, it's what a fur, and not what his name is, but what a furs it, it's them, it's to assure. What affers them to assure, and it always tells a story about why she names him. And you see it here, call me blessed, assure. You also see up here, I'm happy, assure. But what this says is, what am her, what am her, and what am her less, L-A-E, less than assure. What am her less than assure, not quite sure. Is C-I-C-I, is he as run of in what? And not so sure is to see as who is run of in what, is who the father was. What a fur at some to assure. I'm going to call him assure, even though I'm not so sure, less than assure of. So your name is what you called yourself that day. They say that they were named for the last greatest thing they did. And that's why their names go on so long. You never get their name. You just get a bunch of properties. What they have done in the past is usually what it's talking about. But in the Aleppo Codex, you see this is all written, just single lines here. So I think that's why they offset this time, to let you know this is a single line. Anytime you see a short line, the computer's setting it over here. But it's a clue to let you know that this isn't in a paragraph style. So after reading on down this it's definitely, have a cock. I'm going to have to change that movie. And this is where you heard the Navy come from, the NVYA. And it's, in and via, during transport, in via, in way, and have a cock in way. And it's hymns assure, these have a cock in way. And it tells this story, and it's got a list of animals, and it talks about fighters, the pug, ancient word for a boxer, the purgatorian will go around fighting. And it goes on a little bit, and then it comes back with the Lord's answer. And look among the nations and watch and be astounded utterly. For I will work a work in the polypol. And you see a bunch of these, they all double up the words. It's utterly, that's what it is, it's a doubled up word. And it's all rap, and he's rapping back. And it sounds like some boxers rapping back. And how bad I'm gonna kick your ass to see the hiney, make 'em. And how hastily they march down to the fight, dwelling place not theirs, away team going away to fight. and awesome, dreadfully for himself a judgment, his dignity, fighting for his dignity now, and are swifter than leopards, their horses, and more fierce than wolves, evening and charge ahead, running down to fight, wanting to fight bad, and their cavalry from afar comes, they fly as a vulture hastens to eat. And then Klee, that caught me right there, the Klee. And so that's when they attach to Klee, to attach and of come. You see that in alchemy, in the word for the battle and fight, and all will come, and what will come of it, and of come deceive, a whammage, WAMG, the whammage mit pinum, the place, the pin is right on the spot, the place them, right in their faces, and Cleo come, sieve, whammage, mit, with ponum, right in their nose, and fed 'em the wise of fuck who'll sieve, the why meaning who, we'll see just who as a fuck who'll sieve, we'll see who's gonna fuck who. And so that's why the Greeks, they used to get naked to fight. They didn't care if they won or lose, or they just wanted the come, what will come of it, somebody gonna be on top. And that's what they were fighting for. And rednecks still say that today, somebody done screwed you out of your money. Somebody's messing with your girlfriend, and what'll come sieve, a whammage, mid 'em face right in the mouth, and fed 'em who is fuck who will sieve, see who's gonna fuck who. And so that's what have a cock and via means, He's got a dick. He'd still say it today. Boy, he got a hard on over there. He's ready for a fight in way. Have a cock in way. And head on a you is what he will it some of, what some of as of a lickums will it toos ya, and a lickum will it toos ya, him at two. It twos ya, and you at him, and a lickum is at twos ya. To you violence and not you will save. Bust that ass, big old lickum comes a twos ya. And let me train on a mill, it bite aside, and come sling die, why they rive done is. And rive 'em done is. And so let me train, and do you show me that let me train on AWN means, on and on, a long time, iniquity. And let me train on to a mill. A mill is pushing the wheel around, the mill, a mill. They say it's trouble, but they also say it's labor, toil. Pushing the mill. I was telling you about a mill, the other movie. It means the guy that works the hardest, the guy in raggedy clothes working hard. And let me train on a mill, it bite aside, which it's not come anymore, the violence, you see the base word in there, but it's which 'em sling die, we slinging death around here. Which 'em sling die, why they rive, when who they get here, why they rive, done is, when I get there, done is, you're gonna be done, and the contention arise. In old Saint, CNT, Saint Purgator, Purgator is the ancient word for a boxer, it's where your word boxer and pug both get their name because their nose is all jacked up. Oh, Saint Purgator on tour, going around boxing. The Purgator and lay its all knots, come sept see, you accept what you get, and all lay its all knots all upon your head, come sept what you'll have to take, come sept see, or smacked her at it, at its dick, all sentence, the senetum septum, awful, perverse, and the sentence is septum, the awful. And so the awful is the loser of the fight's getting fucked. And you see that in this word, perverse from awful. And they say it means to bend, to twist, to be bent out of shape. The loser gets awful, gets bent over. And R of, look is just raw, the sun, but this is R of Begum, the BG and Y, whom, the R of beg whom, we bitch to, and wed 'em. This T is reading as the D. You see this word doubles up, it's starting to rap here. And wed 'em, hood 'em, who sipple, fall. So the sipple, the principle is the head of the teachings. And so, in wedum, hoodum, who sipple, you're going to be the one learning, the sipple, the one learning for the work. And the sipple fall by make 'em, let 'em in, by make 'em, let 'em into, see a spar. So a spar, is a boxing match, but it's also the mast on the ship. And by make 'em, let 'em in to see a spar. And see Heine make 'em at the kissed 'em, and make 'em kiss you Heine. And the guy Emmer, the guy that the one is that you're talking about up here, the guy Emmer. When 'em hear who'll call 'em rich by arch, to call 'em. When 'em hear, when you're in that position, who will call 'em the rich by arch. The king is going to call all those for himself, to call 'em the rich by arch. And that's where they're getting this word march by right here. March by, the marches. And when 'em here, will call 'em rich by arch, will rest, the arch will rest from skin what'll all to. And aim in where is women, the double M is the I, M-I-N. And aim in where is, A-E is women, womenum septu was at, and Witzer. And fall 'em in morum susive. And so susive ain't the horses. Susive is what you're feeding the horses, what sustains the susive. And fall 'em in more, the morum, more, ancient Egyptian word for higher, a bigger pile. And fall 'em in morum susive, and you get more food. You get more women when you win the fights. Which dooms of, and the Y reading over here, Y-O-R, of your in. And then you got this doubled up word again. And push, and press you, oppressive march of. And so I like when they add the animal names in there. It helps me find this picture on the wall. Most of them are somewhere on the wall in Egypt. And it also helps me picture the language, what those pictures in the Egyptian, what letters they represent. But it's not what they mean, it's what they represent. Which dooms of your in, and push oppressive, and push and press you oppressive march of Phi, of your allegiance to a Phi. And then this is reading over here, the why, how, who, And who of a censor has, the censor, that was the club in his hand, was the censor. It was also who has the say, of what gets printed. And why of a censor has locale. This in this location, they always say a call. It's just the AC and the L, and the two would be coming from here, but no, the U is extra. This is the place, not to eat, but the locale. And who of a censor has this place? Who carries the club? Who's the king? And cleave, conceive. Conceive is to get. Receive is only if you had it once and lost it. But this is to conceive, to take it the first time. And attach or conceive the whammage with, the beating with ponum. Fedum, the who is fuckle, who sieve, to receive. And so I haven't read the rest of this yet, but I'm sure it just goes on the same way. So I'm getting better at this. I used to have to read something at least 10 times before I could read it, but I only read over that one time. But this old dragnet, they got it backwards here. This isn't the dragnet. The dragnet is here. It's the charm. Don't get caught in their charm. But I'll read these next 7, 8 lines in the next movie. It's getting long. I'm gonna cut this off here. Good day.